Hello friends, I hope you have been using Tally to database utility. One of the most requested feature was that can we have graphical user interface instead of command prompt based. So this tutorial I will be covering that how to use the graphical user interface for the utility which has been recently introduced. Let us download and install the utility. So graphical version of utility download link is same. Okay, so it is same project. Link of this GitHub project is already shared in the YouTube video description. So now before we download this utility, please ensure that you have Node.js installed. You can Google Node.js and download and install it. Okay, so basically this Node.js is running the script of the utility. And one more thing you need to ensure. So in the tally, if you go to help setting connectivity, so port 9000 or whichever you want should be enabled. So you should keep it to both. Okay. Now let's download the utility. So I will scroll and go to download section. Okay. From here we have download link. So I'll click here and ensure you have created one separate folder for it, okay, with no files there. This is an empty folder. I will download and save this zip file. So it's basically 7-zip file. Okay. Right click and you need to extract here. So you might use WinRAR for it, whichever you want. Okay. So we'll extract here. Now we don't require this zip file. Okay, I will delete it. In the old method I demonstrated in many of my video. So what we used to do, generally we used to edit this config.json file, okay, using right click and notepad++. And we used to set credentials here, like whatever your password you have set, financial year, and let's say you want this for MySQL, so we used to manually change this to MySQL. Now during troubleshooting I noticed one common mistake in 90% of users. Okay, many times a spelling mistake used to happen here, which used to error out utility. I sometimes noticed that a double quote was missing, which was breaking this JSON structure. Okay, so there are many mistakes during the modifications, and so I decided that let's introduce a graphical one version where this would not happen. Okay, so I will not save this file. Now in the new method, you don't have to take this pen. Okay, so in the old we used to run this run.bat file. Now instead of that, I would say run this run GUI. GUI means graphical user interface. Okay, so when you double click and run this, okay, a black window would appear just like the old method, but this would not immediately synchronize. Okay, so this is running a small web server to communicate with this browser, and it would immediately launch Microsoft Edge browser where the same structure of config.json, okay, this is appearing. Now here you don't have to worry about mistakes. Okay, like for the technology you have a drop down already there. So let's say I want output in CSV, so I can easily select CSV. Okay, so it would take care of that config.json. Then let's say financial year. So my financial year is of 21-22. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that format. You can simply go here and choose the date from to date. Okay, or maybe I will just simply edit this. Okay, 2021 21 to 2022. I will set this. Let's press sync, which will again invoke the same utility. So let me scroll and check. Import completed successfully. Okay. So now if we go to my computer to the utility folder, okay, you should be able to see this. Okay, CSV folder. Okay, so you can see the CSV files. Okay, now one good feature of this is that, so let me again go back. Let's say there are multiple companies open here. Okay, Excel, Kida, head office, then fraudulent syndicate, techno traders. Okay, so you can very easily browse for the company name here. Okay, so if you go here, you'll find whichever companies are open in Tally. So you'd find the list of that. So if you leave this blank, it would fetch data from the default. Okay, like default active company. So active company is Excel Kida head office. Let's say I want to forcefully take data only from techno traders, not from any other company. So I can choose this, okay, in the list, and I can again press sync. Now I don't have to worry about that. Okay, it will always fetch data from this company called techno traders. So previously you needed to write that company name in that config.json. Now you can very easily browse the company name. Okay, let me demonstrate SQL Server synchronization. Okay, so I can very well go here and choose Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, now if you notice, it is automatically taking care of all this. So when I select CSV, these fields are not applicable. Okay, database server, schema name. So automatically this get disabled. Okay, let me choose Microsoft SQL Server here. So whatever server name, port name, it will take the default one. So my schema name is TallyDB. Okay, so here TallyDB. So I will enter username here. Okay, now in the old or this version, the password was visible. Okay, now you don't have to worry about your password. It would not be disclosed. Okay, I can type it here directly. Okay, so this would not be visible. Let me press sync. Okay, so my data was synchronized. Okay, and this password is not saved. So by default, it loads the configuration, but unless and until you don't press save configuration, okay, it would not save anything which you mention here in that config.json file. Okay, so this session per session basis. Okay, so if you want to store, then you can always press save, which will automatically reflect changes to this config.json file. Okay, otherwise it will ignore. So it is just runtime thing or per session basis thing. Now time for some FAQs. Okay, so how do you close this utility? Okay, previous version, this it automatically used to close. That command from window is to close. But how to close this? Simple. You, you need to close this browser window, and after that this command from window. Okay, just closed. Okay, please ensure you don't do launch GUI.html like this. Okay, so this is not launching any web server. So proper method is launching run GUI. Okay, which will start the web server also for the utility and even the browser page for it. Okay, and so you don't have ensure you don't close this when you are using this. Okay, if you mistakenly close this black window command from window, okay, this browser window will immediately get disconnected with the utility. Okay. Lastly, I will say going forward, you can always prefer using this graphical version of this utility, which is very easy to use. So if you like this technique and video, please subscribe to the channel and share this video.